Satnam, greetings. Hope you're well. So this is a video I'm making for you, hopefully to bring some clarity on, you know, things to think about with regards to making, your video practicum. You don't have to use Zoom, but I'm just going to show you some of the details here in Zoom, as well as how we upload to YouTube. Okay, and so let's see here. Right. All right. So I'm going to share. Um, right. Okay. So this is our Infinite Goddess um, Zoom account. Okay. So some things I'm just going to go over real quick here is plans and pricing. So if you're someone who has a Zoom account, great. Maybe you have the free one, maybe you have a paid one. Okay. If you have the free account and you're doing Zoom class, and you are not someone who saves recordings, you can check it out and see how, if the free version will save the full 90 minutes. It might only save up to an hour, but there's an easy way to check it. You can just, leave it on, without doing anything and just see what happens with it. So the free version, excuse me, doesn't come with any cloud recording. And so what that means is that, if you want it to record, you have to make sure you've selected record, and then and then what'll happen is as soon as you're done with your video call or your video recording, it will automatically download to your computer. Okay, versus going into a cloud recording, which something like the Pro account has 1 GB of cloud recording, and then of course, the higher levels. Okay, so the version that we use for Infinite Goddess is this one because of our needs. My personal Zoom account, this is the one I use, is the Pro, because it is enough for my needs. However, I just want to make sure you see that. Now we'll go back. Hold on. Okay, so under recordings here that you'll see on the left hand side in your Zoom, you're going to see cloud recordings if you have the Pro version or higher. If you don't have the Pro version of Zoom or higher, you're only going to see local recordings. Okay, and so local recordings, again, it's not going to save to your Zoom, it's going to download immediately to your computer. And so what you need to make sure of is that you need to make sure that on your computer you have enough room for the recording. If you don't, then you got to make room for the recording, and then you have to go through converting, using the Zoom app to convert the file, because it won't download converted, so that you can immediately watch the video, for example. So, if you're just doing Zoom for this like one recording that's 60, 75, or 90 minutes, it's likely not going to be a problem unless you have massive amounts of stuff on your computer. Okay, so just be aware of that. Now that, we have the cloud recording, and so our cloud recordings, they get stored here in Zoom. Okay, and I can share from here if I'd like. But what we do is, to make it easier is, obviously we upload them to YouTube. And then also there's different times we like to edit them. Like, for example, these ones, I'm going to download them, upload them to YouTube, but then I'm also going to edit them, to edit out the practicums that each of you did this past weekend, so that you can have just that file, that will be sent to you. Okay. So if you've got the cloud recordings, you'll see it here and here's where you can download them. Okay. Now I've already done this, you know, the 19th and the 18th, excuse me, and uploaded that to our YouTube. I just downloaded the level 1 sadhana that we did this past Sunday, and this is what it looks like. It comes, the downloads come here, 3 files. And then I can see, like, you know, show you in my downloads, this is what the sadhana recording looks like. So here's the video. It's got this blue, and it has an ending of MP4. That's the video. This one here with the black and the red circle, this is for audio. This is the audio recording only, and it shows up as an M4A. And then here is this TXT, which is the text. So everything that was in chat, for example, you know, that also comes down into the downloads. And we personally save it, you know, I save it temporarily so I can review the text in case there's something I want to grab, in your case for your recaps, in case there's something that was said, you know, in the chat that should be included in the recap for a resource. Okay, so we don't usually keep the audio recording except for in specific cases. And like I said, we temporarily keep the text, but that also goes away. I only keep these recordings on my computer until I get them uploaded, you know, most of the time, until I have them uploaded to YouTube. Once they're uploaded to YouTube, then I delete them off my computer, because otherwise my computer will get chunked up with, you know, too many video recordings and then not enough space. You know, so there's only some recordings that I actually save to my computer for certain reasons. Okay. All right. So now moving on, I'm going to take you here to, I'm going to stop this for a minute, and then I'm going to move over to where these went. Okay. So I got those downloads of the local sadhana, right? Excuse me, of the sadhana we did. So they're here. They show up in my downloads on my computer. All right, here they all are, okay? But see, these naming conventions that they use, this is not useful to me personally. And so I go and rename them what I need them to be. So this one here is the video, and this one I don't have to edit this video, but I'm going to show you here real quick. I'm going to open it up. Okay, let me make sure that got this to share. Sometimes it doesn't work, but I click on that. Okay, so here's the video of sadhana. Okay, and so I could play it for you. I mean, hold on. There's our friend Rizwana. Okay, so she's doing Japji, right? All right, so say there's something I want to edit in the video, which you may want to do in your video practicum. Okay, so how that works with this is that you'll see here that it's got the timeline. So I'll move this back. And in this case, it's 1 hour and 57 minutes is how long this video is, I think. Is that fully, I guess? Oh, I think it's already been edited a little bit. Okay, so down here is this little pencil. So if I want to edit this, I'm going to click on this pencil, and it's going to say view photos, edit in photos. And it's going to take you to edit that way if you want to do it in a photos, or you want to trim it. So say you want to make it shorter, you know, or you're going to want to edit something out. Okay, so then you're going to choose, in my case, I'm choosing trim. So then it shows up in this manner with a little blue ball here and 2 white balls, you know, one at either end. And so say I want to edit, I don't know, I'm going to take 7 minutes off. Okay. And so then I'm going to draw this white ball to it. Okay. So then I'm going to, this is what I want. I want to keep this recording here, and I want to, I don't want this part on. Okay. I'm not going to do this. I'm just showing you as an example. So I'm going to go up here to the right-hand corner to Save As. Okay, Save As. So then I'm going to name this whatever I want to name it. So Sadhna, let's just, and I'm going to name it something. Now I'm not going to name it anything because I'm not going to do this. But once you do that, you put a name, then you're going to choose Save. Then it's going to go through its processing to make that edit. And then that new video with that name convention you gave it will show up in your desktop or wherever you chose to put it. That's where it will show up. And then you need to check it to make sure you got what you need. Don't get rid of the original video until you're comfortable with what you have edited out. Okay, so just wait until you've uploaded it and everything like this before you delete anything off your computer, so that you always have a backup way to deal with things. Now I will say that if you're watching a movie on your computer or you're running something else, that this processing may not work and it may drop off and you may have to restart it again, which means going through and choosing what you want to edit out or trim and Save As again. So just be aware of that. If you're watching a movie, doing something else on your computer, then you just need to be aware that you might have to restart everything again. Okay. So I just wanted to show you about that piece. Okay, so I'm going to stop that. So going back to, I think here, back to my downloads. Okay, so I'm not editing, right? I'm just wanting to show you that piece. And hold on just a second here. Get rid of that. Okay, let's go back and we're going to share this. Oh my goodness, it just keeps doing it, right? I apologize. Okay, hold on. Don't know why this. Oh, I see. Okay. All right, let's try again. If it isn't one thing, it's another. Let's go back to downloads. There we are. And now, okay, here we are. Okay, so now here's the downloads. Okay, here they are. So what I want to do is my next step is to change the naming convention. So I go ahead and delete this audio right away because I don't need it. So I'm going to go up here and I'm going to delete it just to get out of the way. Otherwise I'll forget. And then I have something chunking up my computer. So then I'm going to change the name to this. So I'm going to right click. I'm going to go over here to rename. And this one I'm going to say KYTT, Kundalini Yoga Teacher Training, L1 for level 1. And this is Sadhna. And this is September 19th, Sadhna. Okay, so that's done, right? So then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stop this share and I'm going to move over to YouTube and share again. Okay. Okay, so now we're on the YouTube account. This happens to be Infinite Goddess YouTube account or Dr. Haridas's account, okay? So I'm going to go back to the channel content, which is where we have our videos. Okay, so then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say up here in the right hand corner to create, and I'm going to upload videos. So here I can select files. Okay, so here's the KYTT, the Sadhna one. All right, so this one I'm going to click on, open, and then it's going to come here to, so I can upload it. Okay, So here it is, it's starting its process, and it's going to take a bit because it's 2 hours. It's obviously not going to take as long as something else, but you know, give you an idea. Here's the playlist. You may not have anything here, but we do. So this is like for our level 1 trainings. So we'll mark it as that. And then, you know, down here we have this automatically selected. So it's not made for kids. This is so we don't run into any additional issues. You know, because some of the stuff, we just keep it as for adults, okay? So then we click next down here. Oops, excuse me. And then we have these video elements, and this you're free to use. We do not. You can add subtitles, add an end screen, add cards. You know, you can all do fun stuff like this. We don't do this simply because these videos are private, unlisted, so we're not using them publicly. You, however, may want to use your video publicly someday, so maybe you want to add some of these elements. So I'm going to click next. Okay, and this is just, you know, about letting you know the checks and the copyrights here. So if you use any music from any artist, just understand that it's going to show up. YouTube will catch it as a copyright claim. You don't have to worry about this in most cases. I mean, if you're sharing this video publicly, you do, which means you got to get either permission from the artist themselves directly, or you need to contact the management of the artist, and then you have to go through a process, you know, which isn't too difficult, you know, because you've been approved to use that material. So then you click on next. And so here's where your visibility choices are. So you save or publish. You can make your video public, unlisted, or private. Okay, if you make it private, you can share it privately. Okay, but to share it privately, this is how you do that. And then you notify them by email. All right, so sometimes, you know, this works well, but if they don't have a Google account, it just doesn't always work right. So sometimes I use that for my private accounts, but not necessarily for level 1 or level 2s. So we choose unlisted. So basically anyone with this video link can watch the video. But again, you know, we don't share our videos other than, like in this case, we only share it with you as a class. And if you've missed the recording, for example, or if, you know, like you're leading sadhana and we're going to share that with you. Okay, we assume you're not going to share that link with anybody. We prefer you not to. But, you know, obviously we don't know 100% for sure. This is the public one. This is like so everyone can watch your video. You can schedule it to go public if you desire to do so. Now, even though, like today, say you want to click unlisted for your video because you don't want to share it with anybody or you don't want anybody to see it publicly, that's fine. But at a later time, you can make it public if you choose to do so. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to save this. Okay. All right, so you can see it's already almost finished. It's uploading, it's 98% done. Say it's 11 seconds. When it says close here, you can close it. It's not going to do anything. It's just going to keep doing its processes. You see here, you can see like our video from the 18th has a copyright claim, right? We don't have to worry about that. It's unlisted. Okay, there's a copyright claim here and here. But we don't have to worry about those unless we choose to make them public. That's the key thing, okay? But this is how you upload to YouTube. Now, what we do then is then we go click on the video, and then we go to the video link here, highlight it, copy it, okay? And then we paste it in email, all right? Or you can, in your case, you can send direct message to me and paste the link in Sutra, and I can watch it there. Now, Sutra, you may be able to, because there's video access there, and you may be able to do recording on that, so you may be able to do your class that way. The other thing is that if you're not using YouTube or you're not interested in YouTube, that's totally fine. You can use WeTransfer. For my private business, I do use WeTransfer because of some of the bulky files that I need to send some of my clients. Because it contains, their recording of their appointment. And then like astrocartography is like probably the most bulkiest because, for example, it's got, I got at least 20 different maps in most cases that go along with that file. And so then I'll send it via WeTransfer. And WeTransfer is, you can get some of it for free, or you can pay depending on how many uploads you have regularly, and maybe it makes sense to get the paid version. I've done both, but I turn it off and on. Like Zoom, you can also do that. You can say, hey, I'm going to make my video, I'm going to do all these other things, and it's like, I'm going to pay for the pro version for this month or in the next 2 months. And then, say you're not going to use it at the pro level, or you don't need it then, come December, well, then you can just back it down to the free version. So it's easy to do that. So hopefully this has been helpful. Hopefully this is what some of you've needed to understand. And of course, available if you have any further questions about this. All right. Take care and Sat Nam.